Here's how you use every single Dungeon Quest spell on Samurai Palace. First spell we have here is the simplest, is the hand cannon. This one's a quick one-hit burst that does 12 times the damage that your regular sword does, basically doing damage, and it's a mage class. It is the only uncommon spell in Samurai Palace. You just go, shoot it real quick, and it's pretty simple. Just do some regular damage. This should be kind of your starting spell, something maybe you get out of your dailies if you're lucky, or something like that. Now, here's exactly how you use the hand cannon on a dungeon. For the hand cannon, since it's obviously a very small spell, though it is pretty low on cooldown, we can just go ahead, go around here, shoot again. It really relies on shift lock, just like all spells in these games. So you go ahead and get close, you shoot it, you wait for it to reload since it's only like 2.5 seconds, you shoot again, gone, there we go. Then we go ahead and move on to the next group and then damage them some more. And it's pretty much rinse and repeat with that spell. The second spell we have here is Earth Clap, which is a rare and also is a mage one. Now this one, I really like this spell. It's honestly my favorite on how you use it. You just go straight to there and boom! You hit them there with a bunch of earth, a bunch of damage at the same time. I honestly think it's really cool, a very big range spell where you can just approach there and not risk the thing of missing like hand cannon or something like that. And it has a pretty nice cooldown of only 5 seconds. And I feel like it's a pretty good spell that you should use until like you get like Illusion Blast or something like that. Now, here's how you use Earth Clap on a dungeon. Now, for the Earth Clap, you basically go ahead and get near the enemy and then you use the master spell. It's basically a big clap doing just the damage right here. Get close to them, boom, they're gone, and then just reload it from here. Honestly, my favorite spell for Samurai Palace. It just feels so cool. You can also cheese them right here. We pop into Earth and gun. Those mobs are just done just like that. You can even do it to bosses. All I gotta do is get near, damage them both, get the mobs there, and recycle. Next up is the Enchanted Shuriken, which honestly is the coolest looking spell. You go ahead and charge it right here, and you do 1 and 2 powerful ticks right here, just like Blade Throw, but it's a lot slower, but it does have a lot more range for a dungeon of Samurai Palace, which is pretty good if you're looking for like a long range hit, like hitting from one place to another. It's honestly pretty consistently like can do long range. Now, here's how exactly you can use this Enchanted Shuriken on a dungeon. For the shuriken, what you're going to want to do is you're going to go ahead and load it up and shoot it. It's basically a slow load, slow shoot. Keep it consistent. It's a really cool spell, like as I've said before. But honestly, it's pretty slow and you can outrange them. Like I'm outranging them right here. I'm standing still and they hit. Now if you don't one-shot them, like I'm one-shotting them in this case here, they will go towards you once you hit them. So next up we got here is the Lava Lash, which honestly kind of reminds me of the King Strike in King's Castle. So you go ahead and go here, you land a hit, and you basically do damage here. It's one quick hit that does 2 ticks of damage, 1, 2, there we go, real quick, and just repeat it like that at a pretty decently long range. The longest range for a warrior spell, but not as long as the Shuriken, but it's still pretty decently nonetheless. Now, here's how you use that spell on a dungeon. Now for Lava Lash, it's actually pretty similar to use as like the first spell I showed in this video. All you gotta do is hit here, go, and then you just run away, do thing. You can do the same thing with the Shuriken, hitting them from a far away range where they won't notice. But if I hit them and they don't get one-shotted, they will start following you. So that's something you still need to take into notice, and you keep damaging them until they're pretty much gone and taken down. Next up is the Berserk ability, which this is one of the 2 abilities you can find both in Insane and Nightmare. It's a very close range spell. You have to get really close and then boom, 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 boom. Tons of hits at the same time using an ability altogether, just damaging it as much as possible. Now, here's exactly how you use this close range spell on a dungeon. For the Berserk ability, just skip forward and go ahead and let them have it. It is a short range ability, so just let them have it right here. Damage them, damage them, damage them. In general, just keep on going around like it's a very short range spell, like Infernal on the last dungeon in the Underworld. So it's just a short one. If you're good at Infernal Strikes, you should be able to handle this one, but if not, maybe the spell isn't for you. Now, for the next spell, we have the last taunt move for a lot of dungeons, and it's called the Guardian's Roar. Now, you roar forward and basically taunt your enemies, just using the spell and taunting anything on the way. It's pretty simple, but you're probably not going to use it, but in case you do, here's exactly how you use the Guardian's Roar on a dungeon. Now for this one, it's actually pretty simple. Now what you're gonna do here is you're gonna go there and go ahead and shout your ability over there. Go ahead and taunt them and they will follow you, even though you're probably not gonna use a taunt at all when you're going to do Samurai Palace because it's one of the lower dungeons. And there isn't really competitive teams for like certain dungeons like these, but it works pretty simple. Ghostly Rampage is next up, and this is pretty much kind of like the damage spell and is obviously gone in Nightmare. Now for this spell, you go ahead and get to your target and you go ahead and use it, and it's kind of like stays there and does a bunch of damage. And basically, you kind of use it as a damage spell. This spell can be pretty good against bosses, to be specific. Better than the even speed spell that I'll use later. But for this is how you use it on a dungeon. But before we do that, you actually could jump on this guy before on the old days of Dungeon Quest. And I thought that's pretty cool. But alright, let's just get to know how you use the spell. Now, for Ghostly Rampage, all you gotta do is get near the mobs, just land it, and let the thing do the work. It hits multiple times right there. Go ahead and reload, get close again, hit them again, and let it do 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And then you can just go ahead and recycle that until the mobs are defeated. Same thing with bosses. The speed spell for Mage is Illusion Blast. Now, Illusion Blast is a speed spell where you go here and boom, boom, boom. Hit it a couple of times, a couple of ticks. I think it's 4 ticks right here, or it's 5. Nope, it's 4 ticks right here, where you just do damage every time it fully goes purple. Just keep going around, and you do gain an extended speed. With that speed, you can actually outrun mobs, which will be really useful, and if you learn how you use it, how exactly. Now, here's how you use this set spell on a dungeon. Now, since this spell is based on the speed spell, it is just a pretty simple concept for being the first speed spell, but all you have to do is basically just go around while it does those purple ticks of those purple full circles or ticks of damage. I'm one-shotting them here, but if you don't one-shot them, which is normal, what you have to do is just go ahead and damage them overall and you'll be fine. Now, for the final spell here, is we have the Flame Cyclone. Now, this is the speed move for warriors, and you basically just go here and go crazy, just do this mass circle damage and damage it as much as possible. This can also be done to multiple targets. For example, here you can just go ahead, go here, and damage all the mobs at once. You can just go ahead and keep them all and follow them all, and you can go to a certain faster speed by going in this flaming orb, which is definitely the warrior spell you should be using when doing Samurai Palace and starting to do canals. Now, here's how you use Flame Cyclone on dungeons. And for the last spell here, we're just gonna take a look. Basically, just do the same things. Basically, the same dilemma with Illusion Blast. You're gonna go all around the mobs, just damaging them overall. This one is ever so slightly better than the Mage one, but it's still the same use of it. And for bosses, we can go ahead right here. It's pretty similar. Just go ahead and make sure to go around the bosses. Now, the reason I'm doing the boss here is because there's something special. The mob that spawns here is actually the one that uses Flame Cyclone, which you should avoid at all costs right there. But honestly, I think it's pretty unique. Well, there we have it. That's every single spell on the Samurai Palace on how to use exactly the list. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. YouTube says you'll like the video on your screen right now. Maybe it's another episode of the series. And waddle out, my friends.